Today we are here taking chapter 3 of the cry of the young people. And here, as you can see, I have 5 young men who want to take this discussion together with me as we explore what chapter 3 has for us. We want to trust that you are going to learn something from us. And above all, you are going to enjoy what these young men are going to share with you. When you get what they have shared, just be challenged to be ready to share with your friends around. Get prepared to learn from us and get learning to help others become better than they are today.
My name is Matthew Mwiu. I am privileged and humbled to be in this session, which we are discussing with Father Dennis, the author of the book, The Cry of the Young People, about the challenges and things that the young people, I included, face outside here.
My name is Frederick Ouko. Today, it is my privilege to be and join Father Dennis to share the challenges that are facing the young people in our nation today.
My name is Moses Wekesa. I'm here with Father Dennis to share with you the experience of young people and the challenges they face in today's world.
I am Charles Sekai. I'm here to discuss the book of the cry of the young people. I hope what we are going to share will impact on the cries of the young people.
My name is Boniface Ndeti, and I'm very grateful to be among the panel, and I look forward to being of benefit to all of you.
I want to pose this question to all of you in this panel as we discuss this book. What has been your experience during this COVID-19 period? 5 months down the line. Can you share with us what has been your experience? Did you seek help out of what you went through?
My experience during this pandemic of COVID, like many other people, it has not been easy for me. And one of the main challenges, I will say, it has been the challenge of doubt. I doubted until it weighed on me to a point of giving up at some point. And for sure, many of you who have ever doubted, you will agree with me that it is not one of the good things. You doubt yourself, you doubt your existence, you doubt whether you are existing or dead.
Did you seek and help during that time?
Honestly, no, I didn't seek help. I'm that person who keeps sometimes things for myself. I tend to feel like I'm a bother to some people, and people are going through tough moments, so I don't want to add on them my problems and my frustrations. So I kept it for myself. Yeah.
Do you think that is a good thing to do?
Totally no. Totally no.
How has been your experience during this COVID-19?
During this period of COVID-19, I underwent so many crises. I think I say crisis because of the way they were tough. One of the challenge being the youths or the young people outside there who I met were indulging themselves in sexual relationships. That affected me so much to the extent that it forced me at some point being alone in my place because I wouldn't have followed how they were misbehaving, because such things they affected me in a way that I didn't want to relate with the way they were showing themselves in sexual relationships.
Did you not want to identify with them?
I did not want to identify myself with the youths, the ones who are indulging in the sexual relationships, just because of the picture itself was not good. It was an hectic picture.
Thank you. Did you seek help?
No, I did not seek help.
Do you think that is a good thing to do in life?
It is not good. It is not good to care, not to seek help.
The experience that I have had during this COVID-19 pandemic is not good, it's not one of the best. I've never been in any of the pandemic experience, and what has come to this time has really shocked me, and it has not been one of the best time. The biggest challenge that I have faced during this pandemic is staying at home. Before the pandemic, parents were going to work, there was nobody at home, so when I was out from school, I used to stay home alone. Life was good, life was easy, life was enjoyable. I could go everywhere I wanted because parents would come in the evening. Now this time of pandemic, parents are there, we are living with them, making the decisions, met each block every morning. Parents did not agree with everything I wanted. Parents could be there with their stresses, which they could all put them on my shoulder, and life was unbearable for me as a young person.
Did you seek help?
I didn't seek help, I feared.
Do you think that was the right thing to do?
Having in mind of not seeking help, I am aware that it's not a good thing to do as a young person.
My experience during this period of COVID-19 has not been what I used to expect. It had so many challenges which were very tough in my life. Me, as a young person, I used to take much of my time working, but when this time came, I used to get myself idle, and because of this, it becomes a big challenge in my life.
Tell us, what were you used to do so that you couldn't do during this time?
Since now most of my activities were taking place in the church compound, and because of this COVID-19, all the places, especially the institutions, were out of bound. And therefore, I found myself most of the time at home, and I can now say I was so idle.
Did you seek help?
Having found myself idle at home, for sure I did not seek help.
My biggest challenge in this coronavirus period has been a lack of opportunity because I used to move around, meeting my fellow youths and discussing different issues together, going to church together. So it was not the case during this pandemic period because the churches are closed, no opportunities, no freedom of moving around and with the youths, because I love fun and I love to meet and interact with people.
Did you seek help?
Yes,
Then?
I went and meet my friend of mine and asked, what can I do this time of coronavirus? The one thing that friend told me is, do you have a farm? Can you do something to the farm, or can you plant something in the farm to make yourself busy? Then I decided to buy one sack of sukuma wiki. I planted, and that made me more busy, and I was really enjoying that time.
Having heard from what you have all shared and how this 2019 period has been to you, we want now to move to an aspect that I've really considered in my book. Tell us what you understand by freedom. Many young people are looking to be free. What does it mean? Can we have your take on that?
I thought being free entails me to do what doesn't make me feel pain what doesn't make me feel annoyed, what doesn't make me feel pressed, but what makes me feel happy, good, joyous, and privileged.
According to my own understanding of freedom, freedom is that ability of relating with the people without interfering with their welfare.
According to me, freedom has been the ability to do what I want at any time I want.
For me, as a young person, I thought that freedom is to choose what one wishes to do. So I may choose what is wrong, or I may choose what is right.
Freedom, on my own understanding, I thought it is being free, moving around, making your own decision of life, and interacting freely with people around you.
What has been your experience during this COVID-19, and what has been your challenge?
When I was reading The Cry of the Young People by Father Dennis Omai, I came to this chapter 3, which talks of freeing yourself by being yourself. And this topic of the sad truth, sad it is, but true it is. And I was curious to know what sad truth is he talking about. And I learned that most of us don't know ourselves for sure. And there came a question which struck my mind, heart, and body, that who am I? With this challenge, I want to embark on reading the book and know more about myself.
When I read this book of The Cry of the Young People, I came to the part of being exceptional. In this book, I read a topic of being exceptional, and in that being exceptional, I came through a story of a young man who grew in a village and had the opportunity to undergo in a tertiary education, and minding of the family background, he goes to an extra mile of working in the school, as at some point as washing clothes, and at some point also being a guard. And at the end of his story, at the end of the school, he graduated having a degree and something extra. The extra thing is that during the graduation day, he took his friends to a hotel, a restaurant, and after the celebration, the friends discovered that the restaurant was his. The lesson I have learned from the story is that when you know yourself, you will make the right decisions and achieve greatness.
I learned from the story of St. Aloysius of Gonzaga that the time of decision for life is now, and I should not be ashamed of my choices. There is a cost of making a life choice, and once I make a real life choice, there is nothing that can hinder me from fulfilling it. I learned also that a life well lived is always celebrated. And lastly, that I should always be motivated to live a good life, and the right time to start living that good life is now. And as I quote Father Dennis on page 68, peace and joy are the reward of a life of big sacrifice.
Due to the experiences that I incurred during this time, it was not the same. I came to learn that freedom is to do what is right at the expected time. When I read The Cry of the Young People in page 79, I found this encouraging statement. As a young person, discern well how you want to manage yourself to be yourself.
When I read The Cry of the Young People, chapter 3, Free Yourself by Being Yourself, I came across that freedom is costly and many things that is given.
You have heard from these young people what they have shared, everyone what they have learned from the book that has so much insights, which we can take the whole day discussing with them. But as you have the opportunity to pick this copy and keep reading, I want to just come back to something I have written in this book also on page 66 under the subtopic, the cost of making the life choice. I have said it rightly, and as I would want to read 1 Kings 19, verse 10, this is when I picked the message of Prophet Elijah. He had so much that had happened in his life, and at this hour that he felt that everything is coming on his shoulders and his life is being tainted, he said this: I have been serious for the Lord, the God of hosts, for the sons of Israel are forsaken your covenant, thrown down your altars, and killed your prophets with a sword, and I alone am left, and they seek my life to take it away. Look at that desperate situation of the prophet, a man of God. He got scared, like this young man. They were at one point scared of this COVID-19. But when they have gotten this book in their hands, they are starting to read. You have heard what each and every one of them has picked as a word of encouragement. There is more that is in this book. I wish you also get this book, create a group, start reading and exchanging your views. But before I let these young men go, I would want to hear from them as they bring a message of hope to you. Let's have it from Ndeti.
From the author's own insight, I've come to a realization that the secret to knowing oneself is by always being cautious of our strength, a task that is not easy, but something that will quickly bring us to transformation sooner than ever. And by doing that, we reorganizes what is within us for better results. My fellow young people, I will want to end by saying that be yourself by giving your best. It may never be enough for the whole world, but give your best anyway.
My message to the young people outside there is just one: to tell you that since the world began, I have never heard or seen people who have died because of not having sex. For now, what is very important for you, I encourage you to use your energy in the service of your own life so as to achieve greatness.
To my fellow young people outside there, it is very possible that you are facing domestic and home challenges, but in all of this, also you are fighting a battle of being understood at home. Remember always to use your obedience at home, in everything you do, in everything you are asked to do, because our parents are our caretakers here on earth.
To my fellow young people, it becomes hard to make our choices for the fear of failure. Sometimes we fear to seek what we need in our lives. And therefore, the moment we do nothing for the fear of failure, we fail by doing nothing. So I encourage you from the words of the former President of America, Barack Obama, in page 78, and I quote, "Being a strong man includes being kind. There's nothing weak about kindness and compassion. There's nothing weak about looking out for others. We're not a sucker to have integrity and to treat others with respect."
I have a message for you, young people out there crying, but endure and be patient. God has done so much for you. Keep discovering His presence in your life.
We are grateful for this young man. From my left, Moses, Frederick, Matthew, Charles, and Ponfes, for accepting to discuss with me this chapter 3 of this book of the Cry of the Young People. They have already gone through it, they have learned something, and today we have shared it together with you. It is with God's grace that this has happened. But it has happened because it's a grace to you too. You are going to keep learning from us. And in not only learning, we want to challenge you and prepare you to get more insights that are in chapter 4, stretching your hand to help your peers. We are responsible, caring listeners. I have listened to these young people as they have shared their insights from my book, a sign that I'm ready to listen to you, to empower you, and as I prepare you to empower others, as it stated in chapter 4, that you should stretch your hand to help your peers. Let's see how much we can learn from that chapter in the next lesson.